In the heart of the bustling city, Victor Adewale was a man of wealth and influence. A successful businessman with a towering presence, he lived in a grand mansion that echoed his achievements. Yet, despite his fortune, his heart remained untouched by love. His relationships were fleeting, bound only by convenience, until the day he met Ada. Ada was a young woman from a small village called Odudu. Ada was brought to the city by Victor's mother, Madame Adewale. She had been employed as a housemaid to serve in the mansion, her delicate hands accustomed to the toil of labor. Despite her modest background, Ada carried herself with grace, her presence a quiet but profound force in the house. Her eyes gleamed with resilience, and her gentle nature won the hearts of many. But for Victor, she was merely another employee, at least in the beginning. Days turned into weeks, and Victor began to notice Ada in ways he had never noticed another woman before. Her laughter, though soft, held a melody that warmed the cold corridors of his home. Her kindness, even in the face of exhaustion, was unwavering. It was the small moments that captured his heart. The way she tucked a stray hair behind her ear, the way she hummed while sweeping the floors, and the way she would steal glances at him when she thought he wasn't looking. One fateful evening, a heavy storm raged across the city. The mansion's electricity went out, plunging the home into darkness. Ada, fearing that Victor might need assistance, she takes a lantern and made her way to his study. She knocked hesitantly and entered when she heard his voice. He was sitting by the window, staring into the night, lost in thought. "You shouldn't be out in this storm," he said, his voice gentler than usual. "I was worried you might need some light, sir," she replied, setting the lantern on his desk. Their eyes met, and in that moment, something shifted between them. The storm outside seemed to fade into the background as an unfamiliar warmth settled in Victor's chest. He had always thought love came in grand gestures and extravagant displays, but with Ada, it was different. It was in the quiet moments, the unspoken words, and the simple presence of her being. The days that followed only deepened his feelings. He found himself seeking her company, lingering in the kitchen just to exchange a few words, watching as she cared for his aging mother with genuine tenderness. But the reality of their worlds loomed over them like a shadow. He was a man of status. She was a mere maid. The whispers began, the servants, the friends, the family, warning Victor against pursuing such a connection. Yet, the heart wants what it wants. One evening, as the golden hues of sunset spilled across the sky, Victor found Ada in the garden, watering the roses. He approached her, his heart pounding in his chest. "Ada," he called, and she turned to face him, her eyes widening in surprise at the urgency in his voice. "Yes, sir?" "Call me Victor," he corrected softly. "I need to ask you something." Her hands trembled slightly as she set the watering can aside. "Yes?" He took a deep breath. "Do you feel it too?" A moment of silence stretched between them, the air thick with anticipation. Ada lowered her gaze, a shy smile playing at her lips. "I don't know what you mean, sir," she murmured, but her voice betrayed her. Victor reached for her hand, his touch gentle yet firm. "Tell me the truth, Ada. Do you feel it?" A single tear escaped her eye, and she nodded, unable to hide what her heart had been screaming all along. But love is never without obstacles, and for Victor and Ada, the battle had just begun. News of Victor's feelings for Ada spread like wildfire. His family was outraged, his business partners whispered behind his back, and his mother, whom he had always sought approval from, was heartbroken. "You cannot be serious, Victor," Madame Adewale exclaimed. "She is a maid, a village girl, She is not suited for you. But Victor was undeterred. He had always been a man who went after what he wanted, and what he wanted was Ada. He assured his mother that his love for Ada was real, but she refused to listen. She threatened to send Ada away, to rid the house of what she saw as an unnecessary distraction. When Ada heard of this, she was devastated. She knew her presence in Victor's life would only cause turmoil. That night, she made a painful decision: to leave before things spiraled further. She packed her belongings, and with a heavy heart, prepared to return to the village. But Victor was not one to give up so easily. The moment he learned of Ada's departure, he rushed out, his heart racing. He searched the city tirelessly until he found her at the bus station, clutching her small bag, tears streaming down her face. "Ada," he called out, his voice filled with desperation. She turned, her expression a mixture of shock and sorrow. "Victor, you shouldn't be here." "I can't let you go," he said, breathless. "I love you, Ada. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care about the expectations or the whispers. I just need you." Tears welled up in her eyes. "But your family." "We'll face them together," he interrupted. "If you leave now, I'll never forgive myself for letting you go without a fight." Ada hesitated for only a moment before she dropped her bag and ran into his arms. He held her tightly, as if he never wanted to let go. Months passed, and the battle for their love continued. Victor stood his ground against his family's protests. Eventually, Madame Adewale, seeing the unwavering love between them, relented. She visited Ada and, with tears in her eyes, apologized for doubting her. "I see now that love is not about status," she admitted. "It's about the heart." The day Victor and Ada got married was the happiest of their lives. The grand hall was filled with people from all walks of life, proving that love knows no boundaries. As Victor looked into Ada's eyes, he knew he had made the right choice. For in her, he had found not just a wife, but a home. The moral lessons of this story include: love knows no boundaries. True love transcends social status, wealth, and societal expectations. Victor and Ada's love story proves that genuine affection and connection matter more than class distinctions. Courage to follow the heart. Victor defied societal norms and family pressure to be with the woman he loved. His determination teaches us to stand firm in our choices, especially in matters of the heart. Humility and kindness win hearts. Ada's grace, humility, and kindness made her lovable despite her lower status. This shows that one's character is more valuable than material wealth. True love requires sacrifice. Ada was willing to leave for Victor's sake, and Victor was ready to fight against the world for her. Love isn't just about emotions. It requires selflessness, sacrifice, and persistence. Change is possible. Madame Adewale initially disapproved of Ada, but over time, she saw the sincerity of their love and accepted her. This highlights that people can change and learn to see beyond their prejudices. Happiness is found in love, not status. Victor had everything: wealth, power, and influence. But true happiness only came when he chose love over societal expectations. This story teaches us to value love, character, and authenticity over material success or social class. Hope you enjoy the story. Please support me by like and subscribe, and turn on your notification for more exciting story. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.